What's up, everybody? Cliff Ravenscraft here, and today's vlog is going to be more of a personal update about what's going on. I'm recording this on Sunday, July 22nd, 2018, and I'm about ready to throw all of the margin that I've worked so hard to achieve in my life out the window. Seriously, it's gone for the next 7 weeks, and here's why. Free the Dream Conference is coming up in 7 weeks from now. Now, I have been told by all of my friends, and I trust them, that when it comes to live events and selling tickets to live events, that all of your ticket sales, a majority, like 80% of all your ticket sales tends to come in during those weeks leading right up to the event. Usually, I think they said somewhere between 4 to 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. It's usually right leading up to the event where people are making that decision to buy tickets. Now, I had this pressure on myself back in November and December of last year where I felt like I needed to get that sales page up and I needed to start marketing that. But the thing is I had another thing that I needed to market as well, which was the Next Level Mastermind, because back in November is when I started the Next Level Mastermind. And I'm like, guys, I feel so overwhelmed. And they said, Cliff, what's the most important thing to you right now? And I said, well, the most important thing at this very moment is I want to get this Next Level Mastermind off the ground. They said, well, 4 to 6 weeks is usually when people end up buying the tickets anyway. There's no pressure for you to be marketing this thing 9 months in advance, 10 months in advance. So go ahead and put that on the back burner for now. And that just took a huge weight off of my shoulder, and I'm like, yes, okay. And that was the greatest thing for me, to just have that laser focus on the Next Level Mastermind. I now have 18 members of the Next Level Mastermind. It just so happens I have 9 in the AM group and 9 in the PM group. By the way, I currently have 3 spots open in the AM group, 3 spots open in the PM group if you're interested. It's really the only way to have me as your personal mentor on an ongoing basis throughout the year. You get a full-blown mastermind group experience, and you get access to me personally, because I have decided that the up to 24 people in my life through the Next Level Mastermind, they are the people that I will pour my life into. If you're interested, nextlevelmastermind.info. All right, so I had all of that stuff, and I'm very happy with where I am today. However, recently I needed to start transitioning. It's like, hey, back in April, it's now time to start marketing this Free the Dream Conference. I know that they say most of the tickets are gonna come in however many weeks leading up to the event, but it was April, and I'm like, okay, I feel led. I need to start getting on this right now. So I created a prospect list, which actually contains about 800 or 900 people's names on it. And these are 800 or 900 people who have taken podcasting A to Z, who have worked with me one-on-one as their mentor or coach, who have come to live events that I've hosted, like the Next Level Workshop. These are people who are paid clients from my past, about 800 or 900 of them that I think would be a perfect fit for the Free the Dream Conference. They're all in a spreadsheet. And in April, I went crazy for like 2 weeks straight, creating personal video invitations to the people at the top of that list, working my way down. And as a result of the marketing efforts within the first couple of weeks, I was blown away, because for the Free the Dream Conference, I sold 31 VIP tickets. 31 VIP tickets, and I sold 9 standard tickets. And I'm thinking, I had no idea that I would sell so many, like the majority of my ticket sales would be VIP. So I went to my event planners and said, listen, when do I need to cut off the VIP? And we're approaching that pretty quickly. But the reality is that I need to do some things to bump up the standard tickets, you know, the ones that are non-VIP. And so I've been working on that behind the scenes, but with lots of margin in my life. I've been kind of just taking it as it goes, because people say, hey, you know, most of your marketing is not going to really be effective until the weeks leading up to the event. Well, yesterday, or on Friday, I realized exactly on Friday, it was 7 weeks until the event. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in that window. I need to get crazy busy. I have a goal in mind of how many people I want to experience this conference. And I have a long way to go to get to that number. I'll share with you and tell you that it freaks me out a little bit because this is the craziest dream I've ever had. it's leading me down a path of a bigger vision and a bigger dream of what I feel called to do moving forward in my life. Things that seem literally impossible to me, but it's a vision that I have that I can't get out of my head about what I'm meant to do in this world and how I'm meant to add value to people's lives. And I gotta tell you, in April, when I started thinking about selling 300 tickets to my very first conference that has nothing to do really with podcasting at all, I had full confidence. And here I am now, under 7 weeks till the event, and I still have confidence that I could sell 300, but it's going to require everything for me to be able to pull this off, based upon where things have gone since my early efforts in April. And so I am convinced that whatever you want to achieve in life, it's not a lack of resources. There's no lack of people who would be interested in this event if they knew what it was, when it was, where it was, what they would get from it, how their life would be impacted and benefited. There's no lack of that. There's no lack of ability to market this thing. I have resources to market. I may not have the experience personally, but I have access to experience. And so for me, I'm like, okay, if I were just to rely on myself, I know that I can put on an amazing conference. I am absolutely convinced of the value of the talks that I will personally be giving, because I've given those talks to people in my mastermind group and it has radically changed their life. I've had one-on-one mentoring clients who have paid me significant amounts of money, and what they get as a result of a 1-hour call with me where I share some of these things, mind blown. And what they do as a result of those conversations, it is incredible to me. The messages that I'm going to share from Free the Dream is just going to rock people's worlds. And the thing is it's not just me. I mean, I get to speak several times on Friday, several times on Saturday, and at least once on Sunday. And it's not just me. I'm bringing Dan Miller, author of the book 48 Days to the Work You Love. Ray Edwards, my closest friend in this world, but a guy who has had more impact and influence in my mindset than practically anybody else out there. My wife is coming to speak to those who have spouses who are struggling to understand what this self-employed lifestyle is. She's going to share the entrepreneurial journey. Giovanna Ellison is going to just blow people's mind with some of the insights that she's going to talk about how she built her business and how people can shift their mindset. Well, I don't want to give it all away, but if you just go, I have 10 other speakers coming to this event that are going to share, I think, insights and life transformational messages that are on par and equal to the value that I'm going to be bringing to the stage. So the actual conference itself, it is top notch. I've been to a lot of conferences, and if I might say so, I believe that this is going to be probably one of the most valuable conferences out there. I've gone to all of these events and I made notes of things that I love at conferences, and I made notes of lots of things that I really don't like at conferences. And I've put together a conference that I know that I would love to attend and I know will add value to people's lives. What I lack, though, is the experience and the knowledge of how to do a significant marketing campaign for such a live event. I've just never done it before. And that's the part that kind of freaks me out. That's the kind of part that's the part that scares me a little bit. I'd be lying to you if I told you that I did not have some fear and anxiety about whether or not I'm going to be able to achieve some of the goals that I have. I am willing to do anything and everything that I need to do to make this event an incredible event for everyone that attends. And that's a no-brainer. But the thing is I'm willing to do anything and everything I can do to get more people to come to this event. One person says, to be overly transparent, I'm afraid to attend. I'm not sure what will happen if I free myself from the limiting beliefs that I have. I understand that one too. A fear of success is an actual powerful fear. And that is something that is actually going to be covered at Free the Dream. It is, because it's not something that this person is alone. I actually have fear of success. I have fear of, what if I succeed with Free the Dream? What if that pushes me towards the next event? Do I get to the place where ultimately I'm doing 10,000 person events in places like the United Center and the Predator Stadium down in Nashville? And that scares me to death. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I getting myself into? But there are ways of dealing with that fear, and there are ways of actually taking the energy of that fear and not ignoring the fear. Fear is a good thing in our life. It really is. But acknowledging that fear and then taking all of the energy that fear is creating in our life and converting that energy into excitement. And then surrounding yourself with the right people. These are the kinds of things that we're going to cover at Free the Dream Conference. So I'm so excited about what it is that this event is going to do. And I want to reach a minimum of 300 people for this first conference. And I've got a lot of work to do. So I'm throwing the margin out the window. But the thing is I have the ability to work 7 days a week, every week for the next 6.5 weeks. I have that ability. I have that desire. I know that in 8 weeks from now, I can rest and relax and enjoy life and have all the margin in the world that I want. But for the next 6.5 weeks, I'm throwing the margin out the window. And I'm going to pursue this goal of reaching as many people as possible with this mission, with this message. I want to free as many people from what's holding them back. These people who are afraid to buy a ticket because their business isn't generating enough money. If your business isn't generating enough money, there's a reason why it's not generating enough money. I can tell you there's just a few tweaks that you can make. And sometimes the biggest thing that you need to make is, am I worthy of charging more? Am I worthy of creating this product? What if I fail? There are some of you know exactly what you need to do or what you feel called to do. It just scares you. And how do you deal with that fear? That's what Free the Dream is going to free you from, so you can be free to fully live into the life for which you were created, the life for which you are called to. And I want to reach those people. The reality is that I don't know what I don't know about how to market one of these events. I've never been one of those clever email marketers. I've got a mailing list. I just don't know how to market. I don't know what to say and in what order to say it. But you know what? I have a friend like my great friend, Ray Edwards, who is a copywriting genius. And he happens to be my best friend on this planet. He's in my mastermind group and he's offered to help me. And I'm supposed to talk to him later today, here on a Sunday. And so I'm going to be reaching out to him. My friend Michael Stelzner, he runs Social Media Examiner, has Social Media Marketing World. He sells like 5,000 tickets a year to his Social Media Marketing World conference. He's got an entire team of people who have been learning how to market this. The very first year he had 1,000 people, and it's grown all the way up to where I think this past year had 5,000 people. He says, Cliff, I'll give you any time that you want. And he's already devoted an hour to helping me this past weekend. He's said, Cliff, let's text back and forth while you're at Podcast Movement, and we'll see how things are going. He's helping me more on the back end, the technical ins and outs of looking at analytics and the Google Analytics. We set up heat maps on the sales page. We're trying to figure out how to set up the conversion tracking and all this other stuff. These are things that I'm a direct sales guy. If I can have a conversation with you, I can talk to you, and that's where I shine. That's where I can help motivate you and encourage you to make a decision that's going to be in your best interest. That's my area of expertise. But Michael Stelzner, he's the guy who knows the analytics of this stuff. He can tell you to look at the data. I'm not a data-driven guy, but I'm so thankful to have in my life a resource like Michael Stelzner, who's willing to devote a great deal of time and effort and energy over the next 6 to 8 weeks. And of course I'm going to be willing to work extra hours and to work to fit into his schedule. I'm not going to expect him to fit into mine. I'm willing to spend extra hours whenever Ray will give me time. Mark Mason, who's going to give me time. My friend Mike Kim, who said, Cliff, several months ago, he said, Cliff, dude, when you're ready to sell this conference, tell me if you need any help from me, let me know. I'll be glad to help you any way I can. I have these resources and I'm going to be tapping into them. If you're coming to Free the Dream Conference, I can't wait to see you there. If you have not yet purchased a ticket, will you please do me a favor, send me an email, cliff@cliffravenscraft.com, and let me know why you're not attending this event. Please let me know that. There's never a problem with having enough resources. The question is whether or not you are being resourceful enough. Throwing margin out of the window for 6 to 8 weeks, and I'm going to tap into all the resources that are available to me. And I'm going to make this thing happen. And I look forward to seeing you at Free the Dream.